Hello. Audio check. Can you hear me? Let's get that out of the way right off the bat. I'm going to be doing this a lot in the next several. Oh, my watch just went off. Can you hear me? I'd love a thumbs up. You can hear me. Looks like you can. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Who was here last week when I spoke for 12 minutes without any audio? My Lord, that was, my heart sunk when I realized that. Anyways, it can happen to anybody. Anyways, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the live stream, weekly live stream every Tuesday here at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock here, 1 o'clock Eastern. I'm used to saying Eastern time because that's where the majority of people are, I think, who watch this. Not many people are in my time zone, the Atlantic time zone. We're an hour later than Eastern time, so it's 2 o'clock here in the afternoon. So how's everybody doing? Do you have any questions for me? If you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can it would help if you put 3 Qs in front of or at the end of your question, because I will sometimes search for the 3 Qs and look for questions to answer. But there's never a shortage of questions. And as always, I will give you my take and what I think. If I don't know the answer to the question you're asking, I will say so. Believe it or not, this might come as a shock to some of you, but I actually don't know everything. There are some things that I don't know. I wish I knew everything, but I don't. So what do? I try stuff, I test, I experiment, and that's what I try to get you guys to do. Anyways, let me jump right into the chat and see who is here. And I'll throw some, actually, there was a question right off the bat. Life is Your Carnival says it's a question for later, but let me answer it right away. If I want to build a channel that focuses on daily live streams, exercise classes, how is the best way to build a channel, i.e. to follow along the exercise and see the screen at the same time? But really, I'd like to build a group of 10 to 100 regularly joining the live streams. Any ideas or suggestions? I really need to target TV and desktop users to make live streams work. So far have tried YouTube promotions to get views and subs, although nobody is joining my daily live streams. Okay, so how would I attack this? So if you want to grow a channel and it's an exercise channel, now this is my opinion, but I feel like if I want to learn how to do exercises, I'm just going to fire up YouTube and search for what I want to search for, and I've done this before, just to follow along some calisthenics exercises, stuff like that. I'll load one up, press play, and I'll follow along. I would never wait for a live stream to do that. I'll find something that's there already. So the live stream thing, I mean, yes, you could probably grow it that way, but it might take a while. What I would probably lean into is make videos that are helpful to people. And part of your strategy could be also making, not live, but videos of you doing exercises, let's say a 20-minute workout, a 30-minute workout, 10-minute workout, whatever. Make videos like that. Put them on your channel. They're videos that people can watch at any time. But then also maybe mix it up. Like, don't only make videos like that. Maybe every once in a while you make a 5-minute video that is you sharing some tips. Like how to exercise when you don't have the time to, or what if you can't do the exercises that you want to do if you're overweight and you're finding difficulty? Maybe some a tips video on that. So you know what I mean? Like, have a couple different types of videos to kind of mix things up on your channel, and that right there could help grow your channel. Then what you might be able to add to that is go live every once in a while. Maybe it's weekly, monthly, whatever works for you. But I don't know that the lives would, I don't know if I'm going to go live for an hour. We're going to do an hour workout. I don't know that would work. Maybe it would, but I just feel like a live stream would be a better way for you to connect with your audience. Okay, so to be there to answer questions that people might have. Now, maybe you design a live stream show. Maybe it's an hour, maybe it's a half an hour or whatever. And the first, say, 15 minutes is Q&A, and then followed by a demonstration. Maybe you do a demonstration, how to properly do an exercise, and then maybe finish up with a Q&A or something like that. I think that might work better. and then just keep pumping out content that will help grow your channel. Every time you put out a new video, I'm not talking live stream, video or short for that matter, that's an opportunity to get new eyeballs on your content and bring them into your ecosystem. Okay, that would be my suggestion. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think? If anybody has any other suggestions, feel free to type them here. Okay, and YouTube over 40 said, great answer. I agree with that. I would not wait for a live stream to follow along exercise. Yeah, think about your audience. Think about the people out there in internet land, YouTube land. Like, we're all busy. Everybody's busy. Nobody, especially today, like, who today waits for a specific time to watch a certain TV show? Now, I know I'm mostly talking to people who are over 40, over 50, and so on. So maybe, people of our generation, we grew up with TV shows at a specific time. But more and more these days, people are watching what they want to watch when they want to watch it. Okay, they're not going to wait for a specific time to watch something. Now, if they know somebody is going to be live, and they'll be able to interact with them at a certain time, people show up for that. Like you guys showing up today for this, right? So, but yeah, so anyway, just my thoughts. Let's see, what else we got here? Who is here? We got Mike. Mike's Adventure Sparks is here. How you doing, Mike? Good to see you again. Chris is here. Hello, Chris. And yes, you've got audio. I keep checking down my audio interface to make sure that 48-volt red light is on. That means my audio is on. That's what I was missing last week. Hello, Catherine. How you doing? From New Zealand. Good to see you. Hey, Scott. Good to see you as well. Hello from Brazil. Alice Marie S.A. Alice, how you doing? Good to see you. Always use 3 Qs. Yeah, if you can, that would be helpful. It's Wednesday. Oh, of course, it's Wednesday in New Zealand. Yes, it is. Sorry. Yes, I forget. You are in the future, Catherine. Let me know how Wednesday's going. I'd love to know. Happy time zone, everyone. Hope your Tuesday's going fantastic. Hello from Newfoundland. Welcome, Newfoundland. Another half hour. So Newfoundland has their own special time zone. So it's 2 o'clock here. It's 2:30 in Newfoundland. So not sure if many people know that, except for Newfoundlanders, of course. And everybody in the Maritimes knows that. In Canada, probably. Cycling with Cancer Creator. Good afternoon, everyone from Meridian, Connecticut. Good afternoon. Kansas City is in the house. Chris, I believe, is in Belgium, if I recall. Mic check, yeah. All right, well, let's see. What else we got here? Just scrolling. Hello from a foggy and cold Oregon. Hello, foggy and cold. It's starting to get cold here, too. Starting to get cold. I don't know if you guys noticed, but my wharf is taken apart. I had to take that apart last week. So by taking it apart, I mean I take the ramp off of the float, bring the ramp up on the dock and the float. Usually I just leave it out there on the mooring all winter because it doesn't freeze here. This part of the ocean does not, well, yeah, it doesn't freeze here. There's too much wave action. And we don't get super cold temperatures here. I mean, yeah, we get into the, below zero, and I mean below 0 Celsius. 0 is freezing. That equals 32 Fahrenheit for those of you in the States. But yeah, it doesn't spend a ton of time down there in those temperatures. So yeah, we don't get we don't get any freezing. So, but this year I've got somebody going to take that float away because there's a whole bunch of mussels and stuff have grown on the bottom of it, and I want to clean that off. Anyway, I digress. Well, who else we got here? Walk with Barbara is here. Hello, Barbara. Good to see you. Russ's Rockin' Railroad is here from Oregon as well. Awesome. And Karen is here from also New Zealand. Welcome. Good to see you. And oh, wow, we have our first Super Chat. Where did it go? Here we go. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Over 50 Wellness Hippie. Yes, thank you very much for that Super Chat. I really appreciate it. And you say, hey, Rob, I've been watching your channel for a few months now. I just want to say thank you for all of the general encouragement, insights, and inspiration. You're a delight. Keep up the great work. You're going to make me blush. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I'm glad you find my videos helpful. That is my hope. Try to help as many people as I can. And we've got another Super Chat. Thank you so much. Mercy, the hopeful woman. Welcome, and thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. And is that a super chat? Yeah, I guess no question attached with that, so I guess that's called a super thanks. So I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, now let's see where. Let me go back up to where I was. See who else we got here. Kit Raver Stas. I know I butchered that name. I'm sorry. But howdy back to you. Good to see you. Catherine is here. Welcome, Catherine. Good to see you at the Olive Garden. Awesome. About to get in the car. So I'm assuming you're not going to be able to reply then. Be safe. Love all the background water effects. I'm a water drop. Very good. Yeah. No, the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean is in my backyard. Monkey Wrench, how you doing? Good to see you from Los Angeles. That view, yes. Kind of a cloudy day though, but that's okay. Jenny, good to see you. Do you use streaming software or just YouTube Studio? So I use Ecamm Live is the software that I use. It's available for Mac only, but there's all kinds of ways you can go live. If you don't have a Mac, if you do have a Mac, you can use Ecamm Live or just YouTube Studio or something like StreamYard or Meld Studio or OBS. There's all kinds of different options. The reason I don't just use YouTube Studio is because I want more flexibility in the way I design my scenes. And I want to be able to pop chat messages on screen like yours right here. I want to be able, let me just move these down. Actually, let me make them a little smaller. They don't have to be quite that big. So you can do that live. I can kind of rearrange these live, which is kind of cool. Just in time for the countdown. Yes. Okay. So we've moved. I'm a little bit behind, as always on the live streams. Alenteo Outdoors. I'm in Portugal, but not by choice. I think Portugal's beautiful. I've never been there, but I love to go. Yeah, I live next to the water. Hi all from South Yorkshire in the UK. Hello, good to see you. Catherine is here. Bobster is here. Found Rob last night. Awesome, we got a new viewer here. Mid-40s and love to create and want to start a YouTube channel, but not sure exactly what to do or go about it. Yeah, so you're starting from scratch, and that's cool. That you've got a lot to learn. One step at a time. That's where you start. Just pick one thing and one step at a time. Start with your phone. Pick up your phone and film something, and then throw it up on YouTube. If you don't have a YouTube channel yet, I actually do have a video that I created that teaches you how to create or how to set up your YouTube channel in YouTube. Maybe start there. And then upload a video without even editing it. That's where you can start. You don't even have to start by editing a video. If you want to get into editing after, you can. You can do as little or as much as you want. All right. Prodigal Aquarist is here. Welcome. Good to see you again. From York, UK. Awesome. All right. Now, let's see. Oh, Life is Your Carnival started using Restream. That's cool. That's a good one. I've never used it myself, but I hear it's good. All right, what else we got? Let's see. Quick drink break. Oh, here you go. Why is the boat anchored offshore instead of tied up to the dock? So let me just point this out there. How can I do this? This handy selfie stick. I'll just point that out there. That's actually not a boat that's on the mooring out there. That is, can you see? That's my float. I've taken the float apart. Like the ramp is up on the dock now. If you can see, the ramp with the two railings is on the dock. I had to take it apart. The boat, I got a sailboat there and a rowboat there upside down on the dock. So that's just all taken apart, getting ready for winter. Sadly, the boat that I had died in the summer. So I've sold that for basically parts. It's gone. I'll have to look at something else next year. So that's the deal with that. But yeah, and you don't want to, so here on the ocean, you have tides, right? You got low tide, high tide, and the tide comes in, goes from low to high twice a day, every day as the moon goes around the Earth. Okay? Well, the moon only goes around once a day, but you get what I mean? The moon stretches. Anyway, I'm not going to get too technical. The tide comes in and goes out. Because of that, the water comes up and down on the dock, and if you tied a boat just to the dock, as the tide comes up, the lip of the boat could get stuck, and then as the tide comes up, it's stuck under the dock, it could fill and sink the boat. Okay, so because of that, to avoid that, you put a float out and a ramp down to the float. The ramp to the float, right? And as the tide goes up and down, that happens. Okay, the float here just floats up, down, and then you tie a boat to the float. Okay, so that's why you have a ramp and a float on the ocean. On a lake, it's not as big a deal because you don't have tides. The water level is the water level, right? I mean, some lakes, the water level goes up and down if they're hooked into some, some lakes are, what am I trying to say? They used to generate power. If there's a dam at one end of it, and they might release some water to generate electricity, and then the water level could go down. But it's certainly not as fast as the tides. So it takes 6 hours for the tide to go from low to high, and the difference between the two is around 5 feet here in Nova Scotia. Just around the corner in the Bay of Fundy, it's actually closer to 40 feet, the difference between low and high tide. I remember down in Florida when I was down there, the tide is only like 2 feet, I think, vertical drop difference. Anyways, it's different all over the world, depending on where you are, depending on the geography and stuff like that. But that's not what you guys are here to hear about, I don't imagine. So let's move on. Little ocean lesson there. Hey Heidi, how you doing? Great guy to learn from. Yeah, if you want to learn about the ocean today. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to all. Celebrate that. Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving to my southern neighbors down in the United States. In Canada, our Thanksgiving was like a month ago. Ours is in early October, probably because, well, we have to harvest our stuff earlier in the year, right? In the States, it's a little bit later because you're a little bit south of us, right? So that's, I think, where it all came from. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the United States. Actually, I kind of celebrate Thanksgiving, U.S. Thanksgiving every year, only because of football. I love football, and there's always football on TV, especially my Lions. They always play on Thanksgiving Thursday. So, yeah, so there you go. So special place in my heart for U.S. Thanksgiving as well. Happy Tuesday. Absolutely. Hi, Robin Creative. Hey, Rosanny, good to see you as well. Buckley Tomic, hello from the UK. All right, let me start scrolling and see if I can see any questions here. Let's see, audio okay. All right, we can hear. That was last week. Here we go. Yeah, thanks for such an impactful reminder. Check my mute button at the beginning of a stream. Yeah, that's why I did it last week. That's why I purposely had my audio off so that you guys could all learn not to do that yourselves, right? Didn't you know I did that on purpose? No, I didn't. West Coast is here. Awesome. Loud and clear in Portugal. All right. All righty. Okay. Oh, here we go. Question from Michael. Hey, Michael, how you doing? What seems to be the best time to announce or schedule your live videos? 24 hours, 36 hours, day of? It doesn't really matter. Well, I shouldn't say that. It may end up mattering if your audience gets used to you posting at a certain time of day or a certain day of the week. Okay, if your audience starts getting used to you, if you're kind of consistent with your schedule, you will grow an audience that gets used to that, and then you just continue with that. That's quite honestly the best, because, I mean, yes, you can think of things like if the majority of your audience is in North America, okay, United States, say, and you want to reach them at a time when they're on YouTube, then think about who your audience is and when are they on YouTube. Is your audience older and retired? And if so, when do they get on YouTube? I don't know about you, but me, as I get older, I tend to wake up earlier and earlier. So I'm on YouTube by 6 a.m. I'm in bed by certainly before 10, often in the 9s, right? So, but then you've got time zones, right? So, I mean, you can put a little thought into that, but the reality is when you start growing a channel, your channel will grow naturally based on when you've been posting your videos, okay? Now, does that mean you always have to post at that time? No, you can try new things. I've gone through several different times, like over a year ago, when I was just starting to grow my channel, it was 8, 9 a.m. I wanted to get a video out in the morning, and I would have it finished the night before. And I would schedule it for the next morning, okay? But then as I got busier, I guess, I started to get into a position where, I wasn't ready at 8 or 9 in the morning. I was still editing in the morning. So then, then it became 10 o'clock. I could be done by 10. But I wouldn't upload my video and let it sit for any length of time. I would just publish right away. That's a myth. Some people say that, you should let YouTube kind of hang on to your video for a period of time. Some people say 24 hours. I've heard 48 hours. I've heard a week, right? So that YouTube can learn what your video is all about, so they learn who to put it in front of. That's all bogus. YouTube doesn't need time for that. Because YouTube doesn't actually start testing your video until it's live, okay? And they test it on real people. Okay, it's not YouTube doing tests on your video. It's YouTube measuring the results, the real-time views that if people are actually watching your video, how long are they watching? How often are they clicking your thumbnails, right? And they measure that. So that's how they test. So they can't do any of that until your video is live. It doesn't have to sit with YouTube for any length of time. Just what I would suggest, though, is that once it's uploaded and you've got everything ready, if there is a specific time you want it to go live, then set that, like schedule it. And that way it'll remain private until it goes live. Okay? That would be what I would recommend. All right. Let's see. What else we got here? What did I do? I made myself small again. Why do I keep doing that? There we go. Hello from Sweden. Hello. Good to see you. Where'd that go? Oh, why do I keep doing this? Hang on now. I have to fix something. Hide main window controls. See what I did here? I made this real small. That's my mouse wheel. That's my one thing that I have a problem with. There we go. That seems to be a good size, eh? Eh? All right. Rebounding with Cheryl. How you doing, Cheryl? Good to see you. vidIQ gives you tools to look at other creator stats. Yes, it does. I love that. I love that. Replacing an older GoPro 3 black. What camera should I purchase? Oh, you've got so many options. So many options. I'm not really a camera guru. I would suggest just use your phone. I mean, I do like the Osmo Pocket. What's it called? Osmo Pocket 3. If I didn't have a camera that had if I didn't have a phone that already had a good camera, my iPhone 16 is what I use, and I love that. If I didn't have that, let's say I had a really old phone and the camera wasn't that good, I might consider the Osmo Pocket 3. Because it looks nice and light, and I like to do walk and talk videos, right? Go outside, and if you hold something that's nice and light, you can walk and talk for longer without your arm getting tired. So, that would be my criteria, but you have to look at your criteria. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to have it fixed on a desk? What I'm using right here is actually a Sony ZV-E10. Actually, no, it's not. This is the older version of that. But this is the ZV-E10, okay? So it's basically the same as what I'm using up here, but up there it's the A6400 by Sony. Call it a mid-level camera. It's the older, the ZVE10 replaced the A6400, and then I think that they've now got a ZVE10 II, I think. What's my phone doing? Okay, so yeah, you could, but I mean, honestly, people get caught up and wrapped up in like what camera to use, what has a better picture, and all that, and it doesn't matter as much as you think, unless your videos are going to be about, you know, getting really good picture and trying to, you know, tell people how to use cameras. Then you might want to, you know, get a really good camera that you can talk about. But, you know, unless, you know, if that's not the case with you, if you just want to make videos and you want to be in the videos, and even if you want to, you know, film other things, usually the iPhone is just fine. I say iPhone, but any modern phone, smartphone, iPhone, Samsung, you know, Android, whatever. I just happen to be an iPhone user, so so that's what I would suggest, quite honestly. Hello there. Hello, Charity. Good to see you. Why don't you hear me like that? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't hear you because I don't hear anybody. I only see your chats. Great answer. I agree that I would not wait for a live to follow along the exercise. No, absolutely. Here's a question. Hi, Rob. Is it possible to start a YouTube channel even if you're not clear about what niche to choose? Yes, absolutely, it's possible. So here's the thing. You can create if you don't, how do I want to say this? You can do whatever you want. If I wanted to get into YouTube and I did not know what kind of videos I wanted to make, if I had no idea, I would open up a YouTube channel, just give it a random channel name, and I would start making videos and I would upload them there. And I wouldn't really care too much about growing that channel. I would almost consider that channel a testing ground, okay, where I can upload whatever, call it a personal channel. You know, a lot of people want to post, you know, personal videos, maybe for family and friends, not necessarily geared towards, you know, something they want to grow into a channel and into a business and that sort of thing. And in that case, you could just use a personal channel. The more videos you make, you may then stumble across something that you want to, you know, dig a little deeper in. And you might think, oh, you know what? I think I would like to make a channel around this topic. At that point, I might suggest starting a new channel. You can have several channels under your one YouTube account, okay? And but it's important, like, if you want to grow a channel, if you want to make money with YouTube, make a business out of it, then it's really important to stay within a niche. Okay, you have to pick a niche, the narrower the better, okay, and make all your videos about that thing. Now, when I say that thing, you know, the niche can be as narrow or broad as you want. It's just the more narrow you are, the smaller the potential market is, the potential size of, you know, the size of your potential viewers. But the better the chances you will be able to grow that channel. As you grow a channel, then maybe based on what your viewers want from you, you may be able to, you know, venture outside of your niche a little bit, but still kind of related, always talking to the same audience, right? Because if you then throw a, you know, if let's say your niche is gardening and you're making gardening videos, but then all of a sudden, you know, I just bought a drone and I want to make a video with my drone and I want to talk about this drone. That's all cool and you can make a video about that, but if you put that on a gardening channel, your gardening viewers are probably not going to be interested. And what's probably even worse than that new video not getting views is that you're now also confusing YouTube, in terms of YouTube has been trying to figure out who your audience is, who you're trying to reach. And the more videos you put up on your channel that are all about the same topic, the better YouTube will be getting at locating the right people for you. And if you confuse it by throwing up something that's just, maybe you're just interested in drones. Maybe your gardening channel, you also like to fish and you want to go fishing and you make a video about your fishing trip and this awesome fish that you caught and you want to put that on your channel. Not a great idea unless your channel is big enough that your audience can absorb an oddity like that, like a video that doesn't fit. Okay, I've done it. I've done it as an experiment. I made a video last winter where I sat down outside in the snow and I taught you how to tie a bowline, which is a sailing knot. That's what the video was about. It wasn't very long. I think it was 5 or 7 minutes. And I did it as an experiment, right? It's the type of video that could possibly do well. If people need to know how to tie a bowline, they might search YouTube for it and find my video. Great. But is my audience interested in that? The audience that is used to me talking about how to grow a channel on YouTube? No, they're not. Some might be interested just because they've gotten to like my channel and they feel a connection with me and they want to know what else I'm interested in. But that's a small percentage. Call them your super fans, which I'm very grateful for, but it's not something that's going to grow my channel. Okay, so yeah, experiment on a test channel if you don't know what you want to do. And who knows, maybe that test channel does, maybe you accidentally fall into what it is you want to make videos on and you can keep it on that same channel. But otherwise, if you decide you want to completely pivot to something totally different that your existing audience wouldn't be interested in, start a new channel. And at that point, you will have gained some expertise, some skills. You'd be in a much better position to make videos people will want to watch. And so this new channel that you set up and start will have a much better chance at growing fast out of the gate even. Okay, so there you go. Hope you found that helpful. Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to go right to the live, and I see TLC floor care and pressure wash just jumped on. If this has not been asked, how do you determine what your hashtags will be? If it has no problem, I will rewatch the first part later on today. So hashtags. I have never, except for a video last week, that was the first time I ever used it, never use hashtags. You do not need to use hashtags. And when you say hashtags, so there's a difference between hashtags and tags, okay? So hashtags, actually, let me just throw this up here. There we go. Hashtags is when you have the hash or the number sign in front of the word, the keyword, all right? The only reason you would want to put a hashtag in your description is if you want to be able to search your videos for something and find something, or if you want other people to be able to search your videos to find something, okay? For example, last week on the video where I talked about Nexus Clips, a tool that you can use to create shorts fast, that was a sponsored video by Nexus Clips, okay? And a requirement of theirs was that I was to put in hashtag Nexus Clips in my description. And let me, is this going to work? Yeah, okay. So if I come here to videos, this one, where am I going? Here, no, what am I doing? Let me show you my channel. And we'll go to that video, this one. The best chance. I'll stop it. So again, scroll down here. You can see it right there. Hashtag Nexus Clips. You can see it right there. That's the only reason I put it there. That is the only video on my channel that has any hashtags. But it's something you can do. But it doesn't help your videos get discovered or found in search unless people specifically search for that hashtag. Okay? Now, tags, on the other hand, are what you would enter into, okay, I should not have, let me go here. So same video, I'll click on details. So here in YouTube Studio, okay, if we scroll down below the description and keep scrolling below the thumbnail, scroll, right down here, tags, all here, okay, YouTube Growth 2026, YouTube Channel Tips, and so on. That's where you put the tags. I don't even know if it's necessary to put tags in there anymore because I don't believe YouTube needs them, okay? There used to be a time when they did, and it kind of relates back to, Go back 20 years, like Google, search engine optimization, like having to put proper keywords in your websites to be found in Google search. YouTube kind of worked the same way. You needed to have the proper keywords in your description, and tags was another place to put keywords. Okay, let me just go back here. But today, YouTube doesn't need that. All right, YouTube is actively transcribing your videos when you upload them. When they're processing your videos, they're transcribing. They're getting the transcript, and they've got AI. They've got AI to be able to read that transcript and figure out what you're talking about in your video. Okay, so they know all that. You don't have to give it any more keywords. Unless there's something, I suppose, that you did not say in your video, and you want that word, to be, if somebody searches for it for your video to pop up, then maybe you could put it in tags, but I don't even know if that would work. So, but anyways, my point is, I don't even think tags are that necessary, but Rob, you've got them in your videos. Why? Because the field is there, right? That's for no other reason than that. Because the field is there, it's always been there. They haven't taken it away. So I figure it can't hurt to put tags in there. It doesn't take me any time to do it, right? Once I've settled on my title and my thumbnail text, which I settle with ChatGPT, I go back and forth with ChatGPT to settle on my title. And I usually do research on ChatGPT to figure out what I'm going to be talking about and all that. At the end of all that, I will usually say to ChatGPT, I'll say, can you now give me a 1 to 2 sentence description and a list of tags? And it does it, boom, and I just copy, paste. That's it. I don't even, sometimes I have to look at the tags a little closer because when I paste them in, the field is marked red. They put a red box around it because there's more than 500 characters that ChatGPT gave me, right? In which case I probably should have said, can you, keep the number of characters to less than 500? I've said that once or twice before, so it usually does it right, but every once in a while it must forget, so I'll have to go in and delete 1 or 2 to make sure I'm within the limit. That's all I do. That's all I do with that. So there you go. Hope that helped. Alrighty, what else we got here? Let's see. Let me just type in the cues and see what comes up. Here we go. Analytics. You, or was it another guru? Don't call me a guru. I'm not a guru. I'm just a dude. Has shown stats or financials of other creators' channels. Can anyone access everyone's analytics? If so, how? No. There is a service called Social Blade where you can go and they'll give you estimates as to what people are earning. Now, so yeah, the revenue side, no, there's no way anybody else can see that unless that creator has shared it or made a video about it themselves. I've made videos like that, sharing stuff like that, and I've got no problem doing that. But and some other creators feel the same way, and some don't want to share that. But there is a tool like vidIQ I use, and if you install the vidIQ Chrome extension into your browser, it'll give you some data in terms of how many views a channel is getting. And I can quickly share that with you. If I go to, let me see, wait now, let me try. Let's go. Pop that up and this. All right. Give yourself a stop. Chance. Okay, here we go. So here is my video. All right. This is my video from last week, 5 days ago. This up here, vidIQ, is what the extension adds to the browser. All right. And what you can do is you can drop this down, and then you can see a graph of views, and of subscribers. All right, so you can see that, and you can hover over whatever date, and it'll show you how many subscribers I had. And you can do this with any channel, okay? So July of 2023, I had 2,300 subscribers. And then you can kind of follow, and then same with the views, all right? I love this tool because it allows you to do a little bit of research on other people's channels. But it doesn't get any more detailed than that, okay? Any service like Social Blade that is showing you financial numbers, it's usually a range and it's a complete guess. And I've actually looked myself up on Social Blade, and it was not accurate at all. So I wouldn't trust any financials that other services are sharing with you from other channels. You can only get that information from those channels. Alrighty, so there you go. All right, I answered that one. I can record, just scared to post. I don't know why. I don't know either. Nothing bad will happen. You can upload, you can post it. If you don't like it, you can record again. But I will tell you, though, that if you want to become a creator, obviously you have to upload, right, and put it on the channel. And I will say that when you finally do that, it kind of locks it in. I think it's important to do that. Like, it's one thing to practice with a camera and record yourself and make videos. That's awesome. Practice is great. But if you never upload it, you never really lock it in. And what I mean by that is if it's uploaded and you see it and you know it's there and you know other people can see it, you'll look at it with a more critical eye and you'll think, oh my God, I really don't like the way I did that and I did this and that. You'll learn from that. It'll sink in and you will be extra careful, or not careful, you'll be extra mindful of these things you don't like when making your next one. Okay, so upload that video. Upload it. It will only help you get better with your future videos. Then make another one, upload it. Okay? You can go back in my channel and look at my first ever videos. They're horrible, but I've left them there. Every once in a while, I'll get a comment from somebody who visited it and said, just checking out what you were up to when you started. This is pretty funny or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of cringe when I see it. But hey, it's a good benchmark too. You're setting the bar. By uploading your first one, you set the bar. Now just try to jump over the bar with your second one, and then your third and your fourth. And you know what I mean? So that's how you grow. That's how you get better. So good luck. Upload that video. Stephanie's here. How you doing, Stephanie? Good to see you. I was hoping to have made enough editing progress to join live, but alas, I'll have to catch the replay. So I wanted to ask if you could talk about settings we could preset to make it easier to set up a new project to edit. Sorry for the separate comments. Yeah, what you can do, if I can share this. If I come back to my channel, what I think it was, I'm going to search for a video of mine, backup. This one here. If you check out this video,
using a phone.
In this video, I talked. I think it was this one. Yeah, I share my organization technique. Okay, I taught the video is about backups, the best storage and backup workflow for YouTube content creators. But I go over how I actually organize my files, where I then put them. I organize them by project name, and I put the date in there as well. So anyways, check that out. And you can find it easily by just going to my channel, okay, or the videos page, whatever, and search for backup. You do that, and it's that first one that pops up there. Alrighty? Hope that helps. Do you know all studios' YouTubes? You're going to have to rephrase that question. I don't know what you're asking. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're asking. I'm similar. Do the replays of the live streams work differently from regular long-form videos? No, a replay of a live stream is a long-form video. It works the same. And it can be discovered the same way. The only thing is, what I'll say from experience is that live streams, especially if you do it regularly at regular intervals like I do every week, once a week goes by, I don't get a whole lot of traffic into my older live streams. So therefore, and because all my live streams are kind of titled the same, I play with the title every week, make it slightly different sometimes I don't. My live streams are basically a show every week. And if I took the time to retitle my live streams and maybe change the thumbnail if I was talking about a specific thing, then it might be a little more discoverable and it might get a little more traffic after the fact. But that's not why I do my live streams. I make my videos to be discovered and to hopefully do well on the channel, and hopefully that's what brings in new viewers. That's my videos job. My live streams job is to allow me to connect with you like this and build a relationship and help you out live. So two very different reasons for doing them, but you know, I'm able to talk about the videos that I make here in the live streams, and in my videos I'm able to advertise that I'm going to go live, and it's a really good way to boost your watch hours if you need to do that. Live streams really help with that. But yeah, after a week goes by, I do still get some views, but not nearly as many. So live streams won't typically go viral unless you only ever do one. But if you then go live again, and if it's a special one, I suppose it could. But if you go live every week like I do, then none of my lives are ever going to go viral. They're going to do well while I'm live, and they also do well during the week, right? So like if I get 1,000 views while I'm live, I may get another 1,000 throughout the week. But then I go live again, right? And now people are interested in my current live. So the one from the week before that got 1,000 views in week 1 may only get 100 views or 50 views in week 2, 20 views in week 3, and so on, right? So there you go. Really struggling with the thumbnail. Have followed your Canva tutorials and getting better, I think, but it's so hard. Any more tips? Well, I'll go back to my channel here and I'll share something else. Search for, on my channel, thumbnail. Those two videos that pop up there are the 2 videos that I made on how I make my thumbnails in Canva. Okay, maybe you'd find them helpful. They're not very long. One's 8 minutes, one's 10 minutes. They're both very similar. The newer one, this one down here from 9 months ago, I shared how a little more complex, I guess, that one. But yeah, they may help you. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I think the title is more, well, I mean, the title and thumbnail together, that's what you use to try to win the click, right? So it is important. And, you know, just what I will say, though, is once you make a thumbnail and a title, and you've uploaded a video, regardless of how well it does, I don't ever go back and change them, or very rarely do I do that. I just feel like my time is better spent working on my next video and not looking backwards at a video that YouTube perhaps has already tested and decided how far it's going to push it or not, right? I worked at, sorry, just got a message there. What was I saying? Okay. Sorry, I just got to gather my thoughts here. That message kind of threw me off a little bit. Really struggling with thumbnail. Have followed Canvas tutorial, getting better, I think, but oh, it's hard. Any more tips? Yeah, no, I would take a look at those 2 thumbnails and, those 2 videos, and hopefully they help you. But yeah, don't worry too much about your older thumbnails and try to focus on getting better going forward. All right, hopefully that helps. Alrighty now. Brain fog. Andy Paints. Yep, brain fog is right. Thumbnails. Simple. No more. Oh, hey, Steve. How you doing? No more than 4 words and make them big enough that they stand out on a phone. Very good advice. Yep. And in fact, I can show you. Yeah, well, I was drawing a blank there. If I go share my screen again. So this is my Canva. Okay, and if I go into my file where I've been making my latest thumbnails, okay, that was yesterday's video. That was an image for the post. If you look at my thumbnails, if I make them smaller, you can see that I rarely have more than 4 words. Okay, 2 words. Okay, that one's a bit longer here, but and so is that one. But for the most part, you know, just a few words. Okay. and big. Okay, a few words and big, like large font, so that people can see it, like Steve said, on a phone. If you, because most people, I think I could say that accurately, most people now watch YouTube on mobile phones. Maybe not for you, or maybe not for everybody, but overall, a lot of people are watching videos on their phones now. And if the thumbnail's real small, and then you also have real small, text on your thumbnails, people won't be able to see it. So there you go. There you go. Alrighty. Monkey Wrench says, I'm considering doing a YouTube channel on designing thumbnails, workbooks, and downloadable PDFs. I'm a pro graphic designer. Do you think there's a need for this? Most people do templates. There's always a need. Let me put it this way. There is probably no way you can come up with an idea for a channel that hasn't been done already, right? So whatever you choose, whatever you decide to do, it's been done, all right? That's why I like to think, so how do you differentiate yourself, right? How do you make yours different? There's got to be something, right? You have to bring something to the table that, and I mean, you can look up other channels that are doing something similar to what you want to do and try to pick them apart. Like, what do you like about the channels? What don't you like about them? Like, maybe do more of what you like and don't do the things you don't like. Maybe there's things another channel, maybe even in a different niche, they're doing that you think, oh, I should do that in my niche because nobody that I can see is doing that, right? So you can go through that exercise to try to find an angle that will work for you that's a little bit different. But then the ultimate is you. Like, you are what the easiest difference maker to apply is to inject yourself into your videos. Okay, so if you can do that, if you can always show up, even if you're talking about how to design things, and like technically you don't have to put your face on screen if you're showing people how to do things in Canva and how to make PDFs. But you have to remember, people don't just watch videos for the information in them. They watch videos because of who's making them as well. And so you want to be able to get a connection going with your audience, with your viewers. You want people to want to click on your thumbnail because they recognize you in the thumbnail, and then when they watch the video, they see you in the video. They want that. So that's why more of the, if you look at like a large content creator, somebody who's very successful, and if they're doing a tutorial video, pretty much all the time their face is going to be like in a little circle, picture in picture, or a square somewhere on screen. Okay, it's because that's branding, right? They want to continue to, and because they know that people are tuning in to not just to learn the information, but to watch their favorite creator deliver that information. Okay, so that's what I would suggest. I don't know if I answered your question. Do you think there's a need for this? There's a need for you to be on YouTube. Yes, and I'll say that to everybody who wants a YouTube channel, who wants to grow a YouTube channel. Absolutely. There's a need for things to be done better, to be done differently, to be done in the way that only you can do them. Okay? Even if the only difference is it's you delivering the information and not somebody else, people will resonate with you, right? The people who naturally resonate with you. And that's how it works. That's how it works. A lot of people out there in YouTube land that aren't just looking for information. Honestly, there's a lot of lonely people out there, and they are on YouTube and they're looking to connect with people, right? Looking for connection. And so if you can provide that, then all you have to do to provide that is to put yourself in your videos and to answer their comments, maybe do live streams, right? And that'll just kind of accelerate the growth. So yeah, I absolutely think you should do that. Good luck with it. Lori, how you doing, Lori? Good to see you. Any start date yet for your coaching program? Yes, so I've been working on that. I've got something I can share with you guys. Now, not everybody's going to be interested in this, so I won't spend too much time on it. But so what Lori is referring to is the Creators Growth Project. So this is all I've got officially on my website right now. It's going to be a group/private mentorship program that I'm putting on, and it's going to make up the majority of my coming year. It's going to be a big part of that. The first one is starting December 15th. And when I say the first one, the founders one. So this is going to be, it's going to be, I don't like the word accelerated, but that's kind of what it is. It's going to be a 6-week program, the first running of it, the Creators Growth Project, 6 weeks, starting December 15th. That's only like 3 weeks away. And it's going to include 6 weekly group sessions, or call them group calls, and I'm still working out the details of all that. It's going to be for a small group of people. I'm limiting this to 10. Okay, 10 people this first go around, because I want to see, I know I can handle 10, but I want to see what that looks like before the first major running of it, which will be the idea is this is going to be a 12-week program, but I'm running like almost like a tester 6-week program, an initial, call it the Founders Program first, and then the 12-week program will start in March. When is it? But so far I have not put out the application page because I'm still working out the details, but I am close enough that I'll share this with you so that nobody's seen this. And in fact, you can't go to my website to see this because it's not done. Look, there's no video here. That's going to be by the end of tonight, hopefully, the video of me here kind of saying, hey, welcome, thanks for your interest, something like that. And then you can apply on this page. Okay, so it's going to be, so I've written some stuff about it. What is it? Who is it for? Who is it not for? It's not for people who want to create faceless channels. I'll say that right off the bat. It's for people who are okay putting themselves in their videos, because that's going to be a part of it, getting comfortable doing that. It's also for people who are motivated and who have the time to do this. So there's going to be 6 weekly calls that are, and I don't even know how long they're going to be. I'm leaving it open-ended. I'm going to say at least 90 minutes. They might be 2 hours, okay? In addition to that, though, there's going to be 3 one-on-one private calls. Okay, if you're one of the ones, if you apply and we agree that you're a fit, then there's going to be 3 one-on-one private calls, because there's more. The group thing is good because it allows me to kind of help teach, facilitate, lay out the framework that I want to lay out in front of you, but it also gives you a chance to learn from other people, okay? Hopefully, and I shouldn't say hopefully because I think this is the only way it's got to work out this way. It will work out this way. There will be a nice group of, what's the word I'm looking for? The 10 people will be from all kind of different backgrounds and be wanting to do YouTube in slightly different ways, different business models, if you will. And you'll be able to learn from each other. Some people will have more success earlier on than others and can share their wins and things like that. So, so there's going to be a Q&A portion of it. There's going to be a sharing portion of the group sessions, right? So that's the group stuff. But then on roughly every 2 weeks, we'll have a one-on-one as well. We'll have 3 of those because your situation will be different from everybody's in the group. And you may, you're going to have other questions that, you can ask questions in the group, but you want some one-on-one time as well. Okay, so there's going to be a portion of that. And then the other thing that is part of it is the Alumni Hub. I'm kind of excited about this. The Alumni Hub, after the 6 weeks, you will be dropped into an Alumni Hub for 12 months after that, okay? You and the other 9 people in the first group into the Alumni Hub, where you can continue chatting back and forth with everybody else in your group who you've gotten to know over those 6 weeks, okay? In addition, there will be like every month of those 12 months, there's going to be another group call, okay? I don't want to say just the 10 of us, but at first just the 10 of us. But I plan on running this program 3 to 4 times a year. And at the conclusion of every program, there's going to be a new graduating class that get dropped into the Alumni Hub. So roughly every 3 months or so, there'll be 10 more people, hopefully, added to the Alumni Hub right? So, and then, I'm thinking guest speakers, right? Every once in a while with those. What else can I share? I think that's pretty much it. And then the application form down there. Again, I don't want to stay on that page very long because I have to go through it again one more time just to make sure it's all good. But if everything goes well, I'm going to have that launched tonight. And then the process is going to be tonight or tomorrow. I also want to put out a video on my channel, so probably tomorrow morning. The next video on my channel won't be your typical video where, I'm talking about motivation or whatever else. It's going to be announcing this Creators Growth Project. So it's not going to be a video that does very well, and it's probably not going to remain public for very long. Once I get enough people into it, then I'll probably unlist that. But yeah, it'll explain it a little bit better than I'm doing right now. And then you apply. And I will reach out to, at first, the 10 people, I think, if I get 10, the 10 people who I think would be the perfect fit, and set up a Zoom call with you, 10, 15 minutes, whatever, 20, whatever it takes for me to explain exactly how it works, the cost and everything, answer any questions that you have. And then if at the end of that you still decide, I would have thought that you're a good fit if I reach out to you. And I'll also reply to everybody who, if it fills up and I can't accept everybody, you'll hear from me too. I'm not going to leave anybody hanging. But at that point, you can then decide, you know what, I don't think it's for me. So the first 10 people I approach may not be the final 10, right? Some people will say yes, some people won't. So over the course of the next week or so, hopefully we have all those calls now, and I know we're getting into U.S. Thanksgiving, so it's kind of a busy time. But say by the end of next week, it'll be December 5th, Friday the 5th. We will be 10 days away from starting the program. By then, I should have the program hopefully filled with 10 people. Okay? That's what I got for you now, Lori. I hope that helps. But stay tuned. Either tonight or tomorrow morning, latest tomorrow noon. I hope to have everything out there and you'll be able to have a closer look. Oh, one more thing that I wanted to... So some of you may have noticed that I sent out an email with a sale on my courses. I do have them on sale right now. Or if I go here... on the courses page. So Black Friday week sale. I mean, everybody's doing it, so I thought I better do it too, right? But what I wanted to mention is anybody who has ever bought any of my courses, or even if you do this week, whatever you've spent on those courses, if you end up joining the Creators Growth Project, you will be credited for whatever you have spent on the courses. Not coaching, if we've done coaching in the past, because that's different. That's kind of, my time and whatnot. But any of the courses, and the reason that is because as part of the Creators Growth Project, you're going to get all my courses, okay? And there's only 3. There's the Camera Confidence course, the Over 40 YouTube Starter course, and the Live Streaming Made Easy course. So those 3 courses, you'll get them for free if you're in the Creators Growth Project. All right. There you go. If you have any questions about any of this, feel free to ask them here. But a better thing to do might be, because I may not see everything here, better thing to do, where am I going? Here, is to go, let me just copy that in here and I'll paste it in the chat. There is to go there. That is the waitlist link. If you're interested in any of this that I just talked about, enter your name and email there and let me know that you're interested. And I'll notify you as soon as it's ready. All right, that said, I should probably move on. But thanks for your question, Lori. And I meant to talk about that when I started, but I forgot. All right, let me see. I see a question here. Pricing scares me when no reply. LOL. I don't know what that was referring to. If it's referring to the Creators Growth Project, I haven't released any pricing yet. I think I know what it's going to be, but I don't want to say anything until it's set. Yeah, it's not. It's. Yeah. Enough said there. It's. I'm trying to say something without saying anything. So yeah, maybe you're scared, but it's not. It's not the most expensive mentorship program out there. Not the cheapest either. Let's just leave it at that for now. All right. Hey, Rob, I'm switching my niche. Should I start a whole new channel, or since I only have 30 followers, should I just use the same channel? If you're switching your niche, let me just go a little further and say if you're going to be talking to a different audience, okay, so if the people your new content is for is not the same as the people your old content is for, then yes, start a new channel. That's definitely what I would do. I wouldn't delete your existing channel. You can kind of maybe start using that as a testing ground, or a more personal channel, right? You never really have to delete channels. You can keep them. You can keep them live, and then in the future you may decide you want to add a video to that. So there you go. That's what I would do. All right. Monkey Wrench asks, have you gotten bored doing videos in your niche yet? If you were to pivot, how would you go about it? Test, just switch up cold? Good question. No, I've not gotten bored. There's lots more I can talk about. I will never run out of ideas, but some people do. But let me just tell you a quick story. If I go back a year and a half ago when I did pivot, and I kind of switched niches a little bit, but not really. I was making videos about how to edit with Camtasia, the software that I use to edit videos. And I had been doing that for, I don't know, off and on for a couple of years, but seriously for a few months at that point. And I tried something new, something a little bit different, but I still spoke to my existing audience. And so I like to call that a soft pivot, okay? I was still talking, the pivot was I made a video talking about why I think you should start a YouTube channel if you're over 40, okay? And I did that in July of 2024. Again, all the videos I had been making were on tips on how to edit with Camtasia, how to make videos with Camtasia. Now, my audience I had identified my audience. They were Camtasia users. They were editing videos with Camtasia. They were typically older because Camtasia is not new. It's an older program, and it's big in like schools and universities and corporations where they make, corporate videos, turning presentations into videos. Okay, that's what Camtasia is good at. So I knew I had an older audience, and I knew they were already making videos. And I knew for the most part, they're probably making videos for other people, for their company, for their school, or whatever, or even for other people. There were some people who make videos for other people. And that's kind of what I was doing. I was freelancing as well. I was freelancing. That's what I was doing before I really got into YouTube, editing videos for other people using Camtasia. So I made this video. I was still talking to older people, over 40, and I was talking about editing videos, but instead of editing for other people, why don't you edit for yourself? Make videos for your own channel. Start your own YouTube channel. So that was kind of the premise. So soft pivot, talking to the same people, slightly different topic. And if you can do that, there's a chance that it will work and you can reach even more people. So what likely happened in my case is my existing audience saw this and it's like, okay, this is a little bit different, but yes, I resonate with this. This is something I can get behind, right? And it did really well with my audience. And because it did really well with my existing audience, YouTube noticed that and it pushed it out to more people. Not push, but it made it available as impressions to other potential people over 40 who want to get into YouTube. And they saw it, and I was probably new to them, and they clicked and they pulled. Maybe my thumbnail was good. Right? And there were other things about the video, like it was also my first video I had ever done off the cuff. just by looking at bullet points. I did not use a teleprompter for the first time, right? So I was nervous, and I even said that I was nervous. And I think a lot of the people who want to start a YouTube channel, that's something that also resonates with them, being nervous on camera. So I think, I think that helped as well. So anyway, if you were to pivot, how would you go about it? That's how I went about it. Test, yes, it was a test, but the test worked. Okay. Sometimes when you test like that, it may not work, and if it doesn't, then test again. Right? You can try something else. But I'm a big believer in trying things. Just switch up cold. I wouldn't say that. I would say when you do a test, do it with your audience in mind. That's the best way to do it, because you have an audience, and that is who YouTube is going to present your video to first, right? Not only your subscribers, but people who have been watching your videos. Okay, that's who are going to be presented with your thumbnail. So you want them to also be interested in whatever it is you're going to pivot to. Okay, I hope that helps. Question. I've been on YouTube for 16 years, 1.1 million subs. Wow. I'm in Gary Vee's book, Crushing It, and have built a 7-figure brand. Should I be offering YouTube coaching? I have a lot to offer. Yeah, I don't see why not. Well, I don't know about YouTube coaching. It depends on, coaching is big, right? Coaching, consulting, right? If you're not sure what kind of business to grow around your channel, if you can teach other people how to do what you're good at doing, then absolutely, coaching and consulting is probably right up your alley. Go for it. Question. YouTube says, not me, tags are not as relevant, but they still play a small part in your SEO. The field is there, use it. Yep, that's my attitude too. Field is there, use it. I'm not sure how important it is, but it's there, so, and it's not hard to fill it in, so I use it. YouTube Studio also shows ranking numbers next to tags. Are they still meaningful info, or should creators ignore them? I mean, yeah, I feel like paying too much attention to them might be a bit of wasting time. I do know, now that you mention it, I know, yeah, there are numbers beside the tags. Probably just shows you how often certain tags are searched for. But I honestly don't pay any attention to them. Like, honestly, I don't. So, I guess it depends. If you have all the time in the world, then that's something you can do. Sure. But, again, I'll revert back to, I think time is better spent making another video, like always. Question, is YouTube live stream set up now like TikTok where you can send GIFs? Well, you can send super thanks, and you can do that in the chat, right? If you click on the icon that's down below in the chat, the $sign, you can click on that. I just click on that. You can send a super sticker or a super chat. So that's how you do that. It's like tips. It's a little different than TikTok. Actually, no. When I said TikTok, I was actually thinking Twitch. TikTok, I don't think I've ever watched a live on TikTok, actually, so I don't know how that works. But that's how it works with YouTube. If someone watches a video that is in a playlist, does the next video in that playlist automatically start playing when the video they watched ends? I don't know, but it's an easy thing to test. I actually don't typically watch videos in a playlist. I will just, I use the search bar in YouTube to search for videos, or I'll pick one from the For You page, like what YouTube is presenting with me. I don't usually ever get into a playlist. If it doesn't, you can certainly click on the next one to watch the next one if you want to. But yeah, no, and that might depend on whether you're watching on a phone versus on a computer as well. That might affect that. But I would test that out if you need to know that. After seeing you demonstrating working with Canva, would you agree with my impression that it is like PowerPoint, but with better picture editing functionality? Wow. It's been probably 25 years since I used PowerPoint. It's been a long time. Canva. So yeah, the PowerPoint that I'm remembering was kind of clunky. If I compare that to Canva today, um, I suppose it might be similar. I mean, it's also similar to video editing, right? Where you're assembling things in the canvas, right? It's just that with video editing, you're also, deciding when things appear in the timeline. Okay, but yeah, no, I don't know that I would. I mean, Canva and PowerPoint, I suppose. I mean, you could draw some similarities, but yeah, it's been a long time since I used PowerPoint. Do you have a video explaining how the collaboration option works exactly and if it helps to grow your channel? Thanks, and watching from Sicily. Awesome. I don't have a video on how it works, no. But basically the way it works is if you get together with another creator and you join up and you make a video together, or I mean, you don't even have to make a video together. You can just agree to collaborate. Like maybe you make a video and you mention them, but then you agree that they're going to make a video and mention you. And then maybe in both of those videos, you add each other as collaborators. You do that in YouTube Studio. Then what happens is, like if I added somebody else as a collaborator in one of my videos, they would be able to, in their YouTube Studio, see the analytics for my video, okay, if I'm the one that uploaded it. And the reverse as well. I'd be able to see their analytics if I was added as a collaborator to one of their videos. Okay, so that's, but no, I've never really gotten into that yet. I should make a video on that. I really should. Yeah, so nothing yet. All right. Cost of the program, I promise you'll know by tomorrow morning for sure, because I'm still not 100% sure. Do you know any channels that teach vlogging? No, but I will say this. It's been on my mind lately to do more videos on how to make videos certain ways, right? Like I saw, actually, it was a short, or it might have been an Instagram reel a while back, and it was a creator basically showing how to film sequences quickly to build like a story. And I loved that. And I don't do that very much, but I want to do more of that. And as I get more into that, like, I mean, the cliche one would be, I wake up in the morning, so I film myself, getting out of bed, going to the kitchen, making coffee, like all that stuff, right? Like that's been so overdone, but you get my point. Like people will, you put the camera in the cupboard, and so when you open the cupboard, you see your face, and then you're grabbing a cup, and right, all these things. Like how to make those things is something I want to get better at or learn. Get better at. Yeah, I just don't do it. I've never really done that, but I like it. I like watching it. So, and I think that really helps carry a story. Yeah, so I can't think of anybody who actually teaches that. I know I stumbled across some shorts where somebody was teaching that, and the name of them escapes me right now, but you should be able to find that. Somebody's outside. If you just search for that. What I typically like to do is just be mindful of videos that I'm watching. When I watch people's videos, say vlogs, I take note of how they're doing it. Like I will kind of pick it apart. Like, okay, that angle. Okay, now they're doing this angle. Now they're doing this, and then I try to figure out, okay, how are they doing this? They must be doing that, then this, then that, and that. So I don't know. The more you get into this, you will start noticing things like that. Especially if that's the kind of thing you want to make yourself. So I guess that's my best advice, is to find creators that you like their videos, you like the way they make their videos, and kind of pick them apart and try to watch the videos and try to figure out how they're doing what they're doing. Okay, so Lori says, yes, I'd love for you to teach those how-to videos. Yeah, no, I'm going to... I've even somebody, who was it? A Biz Creator. I don't know if you're here, but I think it was you, suggested that I should come up with a challenge for people to do And she said she was doing something. What did she call it? It wasn't Vlogmas. It was something like that, like some kind of a challenge to get people out and actually creating. And I like the idea. I just don't know what the idea. Like, I like the idea of a challenge. I just don't know what that challenge would be. But if any of you have any ideas as to what would make a good challenge, I'd love to hear it. And I could, probably set something up in Creators Cove. And yeah, let me know. Let me know. I'd be interested. We could do something fun over December. And I don't think I want to do something like upload a video every single day of the month, right? Like that's too taxing. I think people did that last year, and I think that's what they called Vlogmas. Right? Not Christmas, but Vlogmas. Haha. But yeah, I even question whether that's a good thing to do to your channel anyways. Unless it's shorts, maybe then it's okay. But, long form videos, like one every single day, like, I don't know if that's a good idea. Plus, if everybody does that, one video every single day, then nobody's going to be watching all those. Everybody's views will go down and flood the market with content. All right. I spent 5 hours filming yesterday. Got 2 minutes of good content. What am I doing wrong? An overheating phone did not help. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. A light-colored phone case might help with that. Try not to leave it out in the sun. Yeah. 5 hours of filming, got 2 minutes of good content. What I can tell you is the more you do this, like that was me. That what you just said there was me 3-4 years ago. But once you get more intentional about your filming, it gets easier. So for example, when I first started making videos, knowing that I wanted to create a channel, I'd go out and I'd film everything, right? And I'd come back and I'd have 3 hours of content. It's like, now what am I going to do with this? Well, I can tell you what I did with it. That 3 hours of content is still on my hard drive somewhere, and I've never done anything with it. So it's not until I have an idea for a video. Okay, I want to make a video about this. Right. All right. How am I going to do it? Then okay. So like for me now, it's kind of easy because I'll write some notes down and then I'll go outside and I'll intentionally film myself making a video. If I then decide I want some B-roll that I want to film, I'll do it then. Okay, I think I should get a picture of the ocean going by. I should get a picture of that boat over there. I should get a picture of these flowers or whatever, right? Or, but I'll quite often get B-roll of me just kind of standing around, and that's usually me between bad takes, right? I can just kind of use that. So I don't have a library of B-roll that I've been accumulating over the years like some creators do. I think it's probably a good idea, and you'd have to be very intentional about your organization if you're going to do that, and the way you catalog things so you can easily find stuff. Yeah, the main thing I can suggest is be intentional about your filming. Don't just film everything, just film what you want. And then you can clean it up still in editing. If you film something for 10 seconds, you may only want 3 seconds of it, right? So you find the best 3 seconds, chop off the beginning and the end, and there you go. And now the next clip, and so on. So anyway, I hope that helps. I'm new here, Rob. Welcome. Good to see you. Nolan. Have you been able to make YouTube your full-time job, and is it something you do, or is it something you do on the side? I do this full-time. This is a full-time job for me now. I don't like to call it a job. It's my full-time lifestyle. How's that? This is what I do. And yes, I'm able to make a full-time income, not only from AdSense, but other things like the coaching and the consulting and the course sales and affiliate. I've got several affiliate streams, right? Brand deals, things like that. So yes. What camera do you use? Usually my phone. So any video that you see on my channel that's filmed outside, it was my iPhone. iPhone 16 Pro Max is what I have. That's what I use, and I film at 4K, 30 frames per second. Just the regular camera app, the iPhone camera app. What else can I tell you? No special picture profile or anything like that. No S-Log or anything like that. Just regular. I do a little bit of contrast and saturation adjusting in Camtasia to make the colors pop a little bit more. But other than that, that's all I use. In here, inside, I use the A6400. That's what I'm looking at right now with the Sigma 16 millimeter lens, f1.4. I think there's a link to it in my description below. Is what I use for the lens. And but you know, I bought this when my channel was like, I bought it before I started my channel. Okay, and overkill, right? Like if I were to start over, I would not buy this camera, because it's nice to have it now because I can just leave it parked where it is right now and I never move it. In fact, I have to dust it. It's getting pretty dusty up there. But I never take it outside because it's there on the post with the wires plugged into it, hooked up to my computer, and I leave it there. So it is convenient to have that. But you know, I could also go live with my phone, which I've done as well. So there you go. Question, do short videos destroy long form video views? No. Maybe, sometimes, but not always. And that's my problem with people out there who are saying, calling themselves gurus and saying shorts destroy long form channels. Because it's not true. That is a blanket statement that can't be applied to everybody. You know, back when YouTube first, anyways, I don't want to get too deep into that, but if you haven't yet, watch my video that I made yesterday because I talk about it. Actually, not just yesterday, last week's too. My last two videos, okay? The one from last week is where I suggested you should make shorts if your focus is long form videos and you want to help with your personal branding. Shorts is a great way to do that. So that was last week's video. Yesterday's video was to explain a little further why shorts don't hurt your channel and why people say they do. It's old information. It's old, outdated, and inaccurate information from when YouTube first launched shorts. But they have since updated the algorithm, and all's good. If you look at any of the top creators, they are using shorts to help with their branding. So no, the danger is if you use shorts to make funny dog and cat videos, but your long form videos are teaching people how to edit videos. Two unrelated things, right? Now, if you have a funny cat video that blows up and goes viral and brings you 10,000 subscribers, they're not going to be interested in your long form stuff because your long form stuff isn't more cat videos, right? So it's important that shorts and longs on the same channel be aligned and be talking about the same thing. That's the most important thing. There you go. There you go. Oh, here's a question. Have you seen any of those back of the phone monitors? I thought about getting one for phone content so I have a reference while using the better back cameras. Not a bad idea. I have seen them and I've considered them. Actually, before I finish answering that, I want to acknowledge Chasing Optimism. Thank you so much, Chasing Optimism, for your super chat. I really appreciate that. You're very generous. Thank you so much. And you didn't have a question. It was just a tip, so I really appreciate that. Thank you. If you have a question, feel free to ask. But yeah, so now back to end of the law. Back of the phone monitors. They look cool, right? And I'm not going to get one. And I use, here it is here. This is my iPhone, and this is the selfie stick that I use. Okay, I give it a bit of an angle, and I tighten it up, and this is how I make my videos. Okay, I just talk to the camera like this, the back camera, not the selfie camera. I look at that. Here's the danger. If you get one of those, well, first of all, one of those would not fit here because of the way I've got my phone attached. One of those, I don't think one of those monitors would fit here. But if I had a monitor there, okay, the tendency when looking at that is for people to look at themselves, okay, in this monitor. Well, the lens is over here. If you're looking over here, people will be able to tell by the resulting video that you've made that you're not looking at them into the lens. Okay, that's the danger you got to be careful of. I've decided that I don't need that. I don't want that distraction. And I'm okay if I'm not perfectly in frame. Do I know if I'm in frame right now? I've got a pretty good idea that I am because I've done enough videos this way that I know, right? And honestly, what I usually do is I will start the video like this, turn it around, test, test, test. Am I in frame? Am I in frame? If I hold it like this, is this good? I'll turn it around, stop, and I'll play it, and I'll look at it. Yeah, no, that's good. No, it looks like I have it angled too high. I'm a little low in the frame. Let's angle it back down a bit more. All right, let's try it again. Record. All right, test, test, test. Am I in frame? Am I in frame? Test. Okay, stop. I'll watch it again. Yep, that's good. Okay, no, I'm good. I'm good. I've got this set the way I want it, and I hold it like this. I'll be good. That's all I do. So that ensures, or not ensures, it increases the likelihood that I'll be properly framed. But remember, it doesn't matter. The types of videos I make, I'm usually sharing my thoughts or giving advice, okay? Usually what I'm doing. And if I'm doing that, people don't care if I fall out of frame. If maybe for a split second I'm out of frame or my top of my head is cut off or whatever. People don't care because they're mainly listening to me. All right. And it just also feels more real that way. If I'm kind of moving around in frame a little bit, it's a little more real. So yeah, I'm not worried about that. If I'm going to be sitting down and my camera is on a tripod, if my phone is on a tripod outside, I've done that before, I will sit down. I will press record after setting up the camera where I think it should be, and then I'll sit down and same thing, test, test, test. I'll move my head around wherever I think I possibly could during my talk, and then I'll get up and I'll stop it and I'll play it and I'll watch it. And if all is good, all is good. If not, I'll adjust and I'll do it again. So, a little bit of prep work like that, and then you don't have to worry about it. Then you just concentrate on looking at the lens. Not staring at it, but like you can talk like this and then reference the lens. The lens is the eyeball, right? The eyes of your viewers. So that's how but those when I first saw those monitors, I thought, oh, that's kind of cool for people who are really concerned about that, or, it might help speed up that whole process a bit, but just be careful. Don't get in the habit of looking at yourself in that monitor. Look at the lens. I was told yesterday by someone that I should stop using ChatGPT because it's the devil. I use it. I know you use it. How do you feel about this? When I'm typing this, it sounds ridiculous. And sorry, I didn't mean to laugh like that, but yeah, it did kind of sound ridiculous to me too. It's AI. It's a bunch of computer programs that it's a chat bot. I'm not worried about that. How do I feel about this? I feel just fine. What I will caution you about is I find ChatGPT is like a glorified yes man, right? Like it's like it's always praising me. Like you have to be careful the way you phrase your questions. If you say something like, "I think the best way to do something is this. What do you think?" Then ChatGPT will likely say, "Oh, that's a very good way of looking at it. Here's why your thinking might be good, but I'll also give you you know what I mean? It'll make you feel good about what you think." So you want to almost try to strip out the feelings, your own feelings. Try not to put any bias into your questions and just facts only. And if it says something that you may not agree with, then question it. Just say, "I'm not so sure about this. Are you sure?" And then you might get a different answer. So, it's not, every answer ChatGPT gives you may not be the 100% correct answer. So you have to, it's more of a conversation thing. It's better at some things than other things. I think it's great for fleshing out ideas for titles and thumbnail text. I think it's perfect for that. And that's what I mostly use it for. But I'll also use it as a search engine, right? Just searching for things. it's a good first place to start anyways. I have the app on my phone as well, ChatGPT. If I'm out for a walk and I'm trying to flesh out ideas for a video, and if a question popped up into my head and I wonder how that works, I'll type it in ChatGPT and it'll say, oh, it works like this, right? So I like it. I don't know what I'd do without it. Well, I'd use Google more. So I think search engines are probably taking a bit of a hit by not being used as much now that ChatGPT and other chatbots are available. Even Rabbit says Perplexity is also good, as is Google Gemini. I know there's a bunch of other ones. I've heard Claude is also good. ChatGPT is the best people pleaser. Yes, it is. I like to call it my yes man. I'm always right? According to ChatGPT. So you have to be careful. But yeah, there's other ones. Even Rabbit said, where'd it go? That made me laugh. I just saw something. Wow, Rob is a rebel. Falls out of frame. Never heard anyone else say that. Yeah, sometimes I do. Anyway, I forgot what I was looking for, but the chat keeps scrolling. So let's just, what else we got? Any other questions here? Ever tried Gemini or Copilot instead of ChatGPT? I have not. I've tried Claude. I'm just used to ChatGPT. I have the app, it's on my monitor all the time, and I have the app on my phone. So at some point, I'll probably try some other ones, but right now it serves me well. You can tell ChatGPT not to always agree with you. It can push back and play devil's advocate if you ask. Yeah, that's a great point. Tacky, great point. I've actually done that. It was a while ago now, but I remember saying something like, and when you give me an answer, don't be so agreeable or something. I remember, I don't know, maybe I was in a mood or something. Like, stop agreeing with me all the time. Like, push back. That's a great point. You can do that, and you can start to train it like that. So, great point. Ruth says, Claude writes in a more human way than ChatGPT. That's interesting. I have heard good things about Claude too. Other people that I know use that, so that's good to know. Scott says, for the record, I'm on team AI is not the devil. Yeah, I think I am too. Have to be careful with it though. You just have to, can't let it run your life, and you've got to be the brains behind the questions you ask. Like, it becomes very important how you frame your questions, and that's becoming an art, just as it did become an art with Google. Like, how to search to find the thing you're looking for. You have to know what to search for, how to search. Well, ChatGPT and other, chatbots are the same. You have to know how to ask the right questions, right, to get out of it what you're looking for. What is harder to achieve, the watch hours or the shorts views to get monetized? That's going to differ. Depends. I know I hate that answer, but it depends. For me, it would be, what is harder? It'd be shorts views, because I'm not good at making shorts. Watch hours, and I do live streams. Getting watch hours is no problem doing lives and making videos. Shorts views, I think, is really hard. I think I've had a couple do well, but typically 800 to 1,000, 1,500 views, maybe 2,500 views, which is, when you're monetized, that's pennies. I was going to say peanuts, but where's Peanut? No, she's in her house. Yeah, it's going to be different. If somebody is better at making shorts than long form videos, then they're going to have more success with shorts and getting the views of shorts. Shorts, I find, are really good for like skits and comedy and funny videos, right? But again, maybe that's because that's what I watch when I watch short form content. I recently used AI to create songs with lyrics for my motorcycle edits. Interesting. Very good, Jason. Very good. AI will destroy a lot of jobs, but also create new ones, like any industrial revolution before. That's a great point. We've been through this before with the desktop computer, right, in the 80s and then 90s. People lost jobs with, robots going into car manufacturing plants, right? So a lot of people who used to, work in auto manufacturing jobs, they lost their jobs because now, machines could build them. 150, probably maybe, 200 years ago, there used to be a job for lamp lighters in cities. People will go around and light lamps all up and down the streets, and then they probably have to snuff them out afterwards too, right? That was a job. Not so much anymore. Paper delivery boys had jobs delivering papers. I don't know, maybe they still do, but I haven't seen them, right? It's just, things change. So yeah, with AI, things are going to change for sure, but there's always going to be something for people to do. It's not like we're all going to stop working at all and just live leisurely lives. That's not going to be the case. So there you go. Let's see. I use Suno to write my background music, copyright free. Interesting. Interesting. I've seen ads for Suno. I've never used it myself though. Squirrels in the crock pot made me laugh, dude. I must have missed something. I completed 3,000 watch time, but my subscribers are less than 400. What do I need to do? You can start asking people to subscribe. That's the easiest thing. I mean, I don't usually suggest it's necessary, but maybe in your case it is. Like towards the end of your videos, get in the habit of asking people, hey, if you really enjoyed this, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. You could even say, I got the watch hours, I don't have, right? Trying to get monetized here, right? Yeah, why not? That's probably what I would do. Question, if starting again, when would you get an online course or website launched? How many subs do you need? You don't need any subs. You'd have to, if I were starting over, I would focus on my YouTube channel, start growing an audience. So I'd have to pick a topic. What am I going to be talking about? Like, what is my overall plan? I'd probably have a plan, get a business plan together. Like, I eventually want to be talking about this because if I do that, then I can, maybe hear some ideas of things that I might be able to sell or services I might be able to offer, right? I'd have a grand plan, but it's all going to be driven by the YouTube channel. Okay, I got to build a YouTube channel. I want to start growing an audience of people who may or may not be interested in this, my grand plan. But it's going to start with me providing free advice, right? That's the way I would look at it. And I would focus on making good videos that are all on topic. And I get a plan together. I'd probably start with at least 2 videos a week. Because if you've got the time, 2 to 3 videos a week, like start off hard and then once you start getting some traction, start offering live streams and show up and demonstrate things. And I do it the same way I did it, honestly. And then once I start getting some traction, people will start coming to you, especially if you put yourself in your own videos and you start offering yourself up live and answering questions. People will start asking you, hey, do you offer coaching? Can you help me? Can you help me with my situation? How can we work together? People will start to ask you these things. And then you start designing services around that. Baby steps though. One thing at a time, start with the YouTube channel. That's what I would do. Well, start with a grand plan, overall grand plan, but you don't really have to start working towards it, right? You can start with the YouTube channel. When should a channel start doing lives? There's no right answer to that. If you want to go live with your phone, then you need 50 subscribers to be able to do that. If you want to go live from your computer, there is no such requirement. You can start with 0. But if again, just personally, if I were doing it, what I would probably do is I'd probably make videos for a couple of months first, right? 2 to 3 videos a week. So let's say, what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, say 10 a month for a couple of months, 20 videos. I'd probably go live then, right? And the last few videos before I go live, I'd probably say right in the video, I'm going to go live next Tuesday, or 2 Tuesdays from now, or something. And then I go live then. So better learn to work with AI and use it as an empowering tool rather than cower in fear or put blinders on. I would agree with that. Yeah. You can like AI and you can not like AI, but regardless of how you feel about it, it's here. And you're not going to make it go away. So I guess you have a choice to make. You can, like you say, you can choose to work with it. You can choose to ignore it if you want, but everybody else isn't going to. It's only going to be more ingrained in our lives. Just like computers have become ingrained in our lives over the last 30 years. Right? Just like cars have become ingrained in our lives over the last 150 years. Right? It's progress. Whether you like it or not doesn't even really matter. It's just, it is what it is. So, yeah, I think a happier life would be accepting it, and yeah, it's there. Okay, I may not like it or not, but it's there. There's no sense hiding from it. Yeah. Anyway, that's the way I look at that kind of stuff myself. What editing software do I use? Camtasia. I use Camtasia. I also have DaVinci Resolve. I have used that before, but it's been probably a year since I've used it. But yeah, Camtasia is my favorite. Let's see. The Dirt Princess question, YouTube is apparently changing. Subscribe button is gone for me under videos. I've searched. What? Really? If I go to YouTube and I click on a random video, I'll pause it. Subscribe button is there for me. That's on a computer. Maybe on a phone it's different, so I don't know. But I guess in response to your first statement, YouTube is apparently changing. Yes, it's always going to be changing. Things are changing all the time. Subscribing to channels isn't as necessary as it used to be. All you have to do is watch videos, and YouTube will know who you're watching, and they'll probably start serving you more of their videos if you've watched 1 or 2 of a creator's videos, whether you're subscribed or not. Okay, so it wouldn't surprise me if at some point the subscribe button is done away with. You say you must you must now go to the actual page to get to it. Yeah, not me. I see the subscribe button right below somebody's video who I'm not subscribed to. Part 2, I've seen some YouTubers say it no longer counts subs, but they must for monetization. I'm very interested in thoughts on what's happening. Yeah, so you do still need 1,000 subscribers, okay, in order to get monetized, or 500 for the intermediate level 1 monetization. You do still need that. At some point in the future, you may not need that, only because YouTube has even said, like, they don't show impressions of your videos only to people who subscribe to you. They'll go beyond that, okay? Yeah, being subscribed to a channel doesn't mean you're going to get notified either of all of that channel's videos. If you're subscribed to somebody but you don't ever watch their videos, YouTube notices that, and they won't necessarily serve you up their videos, right? Because you're watching something else. YouTube wants to be sure that whatever it puts in front of you, you're going to watch. They want to get that right, okay? So they look at what you've been watching lately, and they'll serve you up more of that, not necessarily who you're subscribed to. So yeah, it's not as important anymore who you're subscribed to. That's 100% true. Where they're going with this, though, who knows? It's a windy road, and we're just trying to figure things out as we go. I should say my hype button disappeared as well. I had it only for a few weeks. Well, I'll tell you, I've never seen a hype video or a hype button. I've never seen one. So I've never had the ability to hype a video. I don't know why that is. I see a number of likes. I see a share option. I see an ask option. I see download option. But no. So yeah, I don't know exactly. Some people, it's obviously not rolled out 100% to everybody, right? So it's just one of those things. Some people, YouTube looks different for everybody, and it might be due to the size of a person's channel. It might be due to geographic reasons, right? There's they don't share that information. Alrighty. Oh, we got 5 minutes to 4. How we doing? How we doing for time? Be careful, AI, it gives you information that's not always correct. That's true. That is true. You have to be careful. Check your sources. I would hate subscribing going away. I want to have some control over what I see, not leave it all in the hands of YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see it going away, but who knows, right? Who knows? Are you actually outside when you live stream, or is it a pre-recorded video with a live chat? Oh, sorry, you're asking somebody else. I have live streamed outside. Like button, hit that like button if you haven't. Yeah, hit that like button if you haven't. 96 likes so far. Awesome. Thank you, guys. What if you're talking about controversial topics? Seems to have destroyed my channel right out of the gate. 3 months in, 24 videos and only 8 subs. Here, let me go right down to the bottom here. Let's see, where is that? Here we go. What if you're talking about controversial topics? Seems to have destroyed my chances right out of the gate. 3 months in, 24 videos and only 8 subs. Average LF view. Oh, long form view. 5 to 10. Well, the thing with controversial topics is typically you're going to have people who love what you say and people who hate what you say, right? You're going to, if you're talking politics, or I don't know. I mean, politics is the obvious one, especially in the U.S. Like you're gonna have, like, if you are pro one side and against the other side, you've just cut your potential audience in half. Okay, so there's that. You also increase the chances of getting negative comments with controversial topics. I mean, some people do channels like that and are successful with them, and some people not so much. I guess it all depends on how you're presenting what you're doing. I will say that opinion-based channels, no, I don't even know if I can say that. I was going to say opinion-based channels don't tend to do as well. But then no, there are opinion channels that do very well. But if you're just starting out, and if you want to, like, I will always say the best way to grow a channel, if you're starting out and you want to start a channel and you want to grow that channel, the best way to do that is to help people. Like, make videos that are helpful to other people in some way. Don't just make videos of you sharing your opinion on something and just saying, I believe this, and I believe that, and I believe this, right? Like, who wants to watch that? Nobody cares, like, and I mean this with the utmost respect, nobody cares what your opinion is. In general, anybody out there, nobody cares what their opinion is. Unless they're a celebrity or they already have millions of followers, nobody cares what an individual's opinion is. People generally go to YouTube for information. And when I say information, I don't mean opinion. I mean like how to do things, facts of things, right? I don't know how else to say it. Like if I have seen people try to start channels that maybe mimic like a celebrity channel that is an opinion-based channel, but they're brand new and they're just sharing their opinion. I don't see how that works unless they're doing something exceptionally different or unique somehow. No one cares, right? So, and I mean that no matter what you're talking about, opinion stuff, nobody generally cares. And the same thing kind of applies to vlogs. Now, a little bit different though. Like sometimes people will watch vlogs because they want to see how people live or see how people do things, and they want to watch people do things so they can learn how to do that thing. I always turn it back to that. It's because they themselves want to know how to do that, or maybe they want to live their life like that, right? So they'll watch that vlog because, oh yeah, no, I'd love to be driving around the country in a van like that and, living out of a tent, and I want to do that. So I'm going to watch more videos like that. Then that might work. But it takes some time to get stuff like that going. If you just make a video that shares your interests, let's say you like to fish, you like to hunt, you like to drive cars, you like to travel. So you want to make videos on all those things, right? And you want to put them all on your channel and you want people to watch. That's the kicker, right? Now it's two different things. If you want people to watch, you're not going to put videos of all those different things on one channel because nobody's going to want to watch. Like you might have a whole bunch of people interested in travel stuff. You might have a whole bunch of people interested in the fishing stuff, but the chances of a whole bunch of people being interested in all of the things you're interested in is very remote. So you usually have to start with a specific niche, and then as your channel grows, maybe try to venture out into other things, right? Don't know how I went down that. That was a bit of a squirrel, I think, but let's see, what am I doing here? It's a swipe left in the comments and you get hype. Okay, so that sounds like on a phone. Yeah, I don't watch YouTube on a phone very much. Maybe that's why I don't see it. I can't swipe my computer monitor. People will also give you information that is not true. Yeah, you have to be careful about that. Like, yeah, everybody has to be their own sleuth these days, right? Yeah, there's all kinds of misinformation and disinformation out there. Have to be smart about the stuff you consume. I do very little editing if I can get away with it. Me too. Editing is time consuming. Let's see. What is a silent vlog channel? Maybe somebody already answered you. I think a silent, okay, you did. No talking, just music and acting, exercises, cooking, cleaning, or day in my life. Yeah, and sometimes, people want to watch stuff like that. I think channels like that are harder to grow. Let's see. AI will also give you information that is not true. Yeah. Yes, it will. Have to be careful. 100%. YouTube is not for the weak. Got to stay in love with what you do. Yeah, that's true. Not sure I fully agree on the opinion topic. You have to be careful and find the right audience. But there are channels out there that are really good, even though I do not always agree with. Yeah, no, 100%. You're absolutely right. And yeah, I would take everything that I say with a grain of salt, for sure. 100%, there are opinion channels that work. What I'm talking about is if a brand new creator, like most of the people who watch my live streams and my videos are either brand new at creating or want to start creating or relatively new, okay? And if you want to start a new channel, I think starting an opinion channel where you're just sharing your opinion is hard. It's just hard. I mean, so, perhaps it could become a bit of an echo chamber, right? If you're sharing your opinion, are you looking for people to agree with you, or are you looking for people to not agree with you, or I don't know. I just feel like that's a little harder to grow a channel that way. But there's more than one way to grow a channel, 100%. That's just not my way. Maybe it'll work for you. Rob, can you weigh in on Steph Does Fitness question? It's a really good one. Tell her when to try to go live. Okay. I missed that, so let me search for Steph Does. Here we go. Where's the question? How many subs before I do my first live? Do I need a base following first or just do it? Okay, here we go. Is this the question here? How many subs before I do my first live? So if you go live with your phone, you need 50. Okay, if you go live on a mobile device, you need 50. If you go live from your computer, you don't need any. But I don't think that's what you're asking. How many should you have before you go live? And it's kind of you would have a better feel for that. I mean, you could go live to nobody, really. I guess it depends on what your live stream is going to be, like what you're going to be doing in your live stream. Do you need an audience? Okay, you could start with that. If I were starting a channel again, I'd probably go live I wouldn't think about the number of subscribers I have. It'd be more based on how long I've been making videos. So I think I mentioned this before, but if I were to start a channel today, I might decide to make 3 videos a week, right? And do that for a couple of months. And then once I have, say, 20 to 30 videos on my channel, then I'd go live. Whether I had 50 subscribers or 200 or 500, right? I'd go live with 50. I'd go live with less than that. The sooner you go live, look at it this way too. The sooner you go live, the sooner you will get practicing going live. The first time you go live, it's practice, okay? There may be nobody show up. So you have to be ready with something to talk about or something to do, something to demonstrate. Right? So if you can do it, so just going live it's like jumping in with both feet. The first live you do will be the hardest one you ever do, because once you start getting people showing up to your lives, it gets so much easier because people ask you questions. You don't have to be as prepared. Like today, I really wasn't prepared at all. Right? You don't want to hear that from me, but right, I was working on something else. I was working on the Creators Growth Project all morning, and it wasn't until 10 minutes before that I thought, you know what? I better get my water ready. I'm going live in 10 minutes, right? So set my camera up there. So yeah, how many subs? There's no right answer to that. I would make sure you have, 10 videos maybe. And even that's not right. I mean, you can go live right off the bat, but I would probably wait till I had 10 or 20 videos and then go live, right? And I would advertise my upcoming first live stream at the end of my last 2 or 3 videos leading up to it, right? To try to generate some interest. I would also go to the community post section in YouTube and I would post about it. Hey, I'm going live next week. I would post about it a week before and maybe 3 days before and maybe the morning of. Okay, and I would schedule my live probably the day before, like 24 hours before. I'd set it up in YouTube Studio and schedule it for the next day. And then I'd probably post about it and copy the link to it, because that'll be set up once you schedule it. Copy that link to it and put it in my post. Say, I don't know if you've heard, but I'm going live for the first time ever tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Hope to see you there. And then just show up and start talking. That's what I would do. Let's see. All right. I'm going to have to go soon, guys. I hope that's okay. Another 5-10 minutes or so. How's that? Another 5 or 10 minutes. And are any other questions that I missed? That I know I missed some, but any other last minute? Here's a question here. Fire Queen, overthinker here. Loads of ideas for videos, but I've got a lifestyle that's multiple niches. I talk and show crafts, mental health, witchy, and social philosopher. How do I go about it? Ultra niche? Well, I mean, you could set up a different channel for every one of those topics if you want, every one of those niches if you want, but that's a lot of work. I'm increasingly liking the idea of having like a testing channel and then your main channel. Start out with a testing channel, and then you can make videos on all kinds of different things. And see what you like making. And if you then that's if you can't decide what to do. I would first spend some time trying to figure out what you want to do. Like, start with what's your goal. Are you wanting to grow a channel that will then make money for you and you want to earn a decent amount of money from it? Is that your goal? If so, you want to niche down. You want to spend time niching down. If you don't care about that and you just want to make a channel where you share your interests and you share your thoughts about anything under the sun, and you're doing it for perhaps family members or friends, then do that. Then it doesn't matter whether your channel grows or not, right? You can do whatever you want. But if you want to grow a channel, if you want to grow it, and you want, I want to increase my subs, I want to get that silver play button, I want to make money from it, I want to get monetized, then you need to start by niching down. So spend some time on trying to figure that out. If you can't figure it out, but you're ready to make videos, do it on a test channel, on a personal channel, say. Like, make a personal channel, and then know that, once you've decided what you want your niche to be, then you can set up your real channel, right? You'll already have some practice making videos on your test channel. And don't worry if, oh, well, I've got 50 subscribers on my channel now, I don't want to lose them by starting over. Now, if you start with a good niche and you've already got some experience making videos, and you start a new channel with a specific niche, you can make up 50 subscribers. I mean, you could do it in a day or a week, or a lot faster than on your testing channel. A lot faster. Okay. All righty. Thanks for clarifying video on using shorts to build visibility on a brand. Also, the cove at dusk was pretty. Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah, the sun. That's right. Yeah, no, I filmed that as the sun was going down, and what you saw was facing east. So yeah, you could see some of the sun in the windows, and it was cool. Has it begun to snow yet in Nova Scotia? No, it has not. It has not. I mean, we've had a couple days of flurries, but nothing stuck to the ground. So what is it today? 7 degrees Celsius. So what is that? Somebody can figure that out. 7 Celsius is 45 Fahrenheit or whatever, something like that is what it is today. So sweater weather is what it is. Rob, do you think last night's evening release will do as well as your usual late morning videos over time? Think it matters? Over time, no, I don't think it matters. But in the immediate time frame, probably not do as well. I mean, I feel like my best time for releasing is early afternoon, 2 to 4 o'clock, something like that. So yesterday's was a bit late, but I wanted to get it out. My plan is I wanted to get one out Monday because I know I'm putting one out Wednesday, announcing Creators Growth Project. And then I want to put another one out Friday. So this is a busy week. So that's why I wanted to get one out Monday. Yeah, but every week is different. No problem, Andy Paints. No problem. Come to Texas. It'll be 45 one day and 85 the next. Yeah, 85, that's warm. 85, that's about as hot as it ever gets here. I mean, maybe 90? I don't know. Well, 35 Celsius is I think 36 Celsius is the record here in Nova Scotia. And we only get there maybe a couple times a year. But our winters aren't as cold as you might think, especially if you're out west or if you're in Texas. You know, the Canada closest to you is the prairies, right? Like Saskatchewan, Alberta, Calgary, Winnipeg, those areas, they get snow. Like they get a lot of snow. We don't here in Nova Scotia. We get a lot of slush. We'll get snow that turns to rain, and then we got a mess, right? That turns to ice some days, and then it melts, and then it's just winter is just a mess here. That's, but you know, I only have to shovel outside maybe 3 or 4 times a year, sometimes more. But you know, most of the snow. Usually, if you wait a couple days, whatever snow fell is gone. That's what, because we're in the Maritimes. Our winters are muted by the Gulf Stream coming up from Florida, right? That's why our ocean temperature is warmer than it is even in LA, I believe, or certainly San Francisco, right? People think in San Francisco oh, you don't want to go in the water, it's cold. I'm in the water here from June until October in the ocean, right? So it's we are muted here. Our winter, but also our summers aren't that hot. So anyway, why'd I get on that? Same here in Georgia. Oh, Georgia's beautiful. I remember driving through Savannah, Georgia. It was beautiful. And Texas too. I've been to Texas. Went to a Cowboys game a couple years ago. Do I think Vlogmas is a successful strategy to get more subscribers? Maybe. I guess it depends on how you do it. Not necessarily. I mean, maybe. I guess it depends on how you. I just said that. Depends on how you do it. If you have a plan for what your videos are going to be every single day of the month, and if they're not too long, then it could be an interesting way. Like maybe you're taking somebody through a journey that if they get in there and they want to see how it plays out, that's a neat way to do it. But if you're just making a video for the sake of making a video, maybe not so much. So I've recently been thinking that I should make more how-to videos. Okay, starting to lose my voice. So more like smaller tips videos, like YouTube tips, not so much the sharing my thoughts, although those are my favorite, and I feel like most of the people who watch my channel, that's what their favorite is too. But so I'll keep making those once a week or whatever. But I almost feel like I should make some relatively short, this is how you do this, this is how you do that, this is how you do this. And then I can do videos like that, like maybe several. Maybe I do a series, and maybe it is a 30-day series or something every day or every second day, or I don't know, something like that. Anyway, just a thought I had. Might do something like that. One would think a Maritimer would video from a boat at least once. And I have. Check back on my channel. I have been on the boat, but the boat that has since died and I had to sell, it's gone. But no, I think I might. And I did one from a kayak. I did one from an island that I kayaked to. Yes, wearing a life vest. That's right. In case you're wondering who that one viewer from Germany is in your statistics, that's me. Great and helpful content. Please keep up the good work. Thank you, Daniel from Germany. Awesome. I talk about toxic relationships, and I'm an author. Interesting. Very good. I should go live from the boat. Yeah, I was going to do that this year, and then the boat, I couldn't get it to work that day, so I went to the beach instead, and I went live there. If you search back through my live streams, you'll see that I live streamed from the beach. I'm going to say that was June, maybe? June or July? I started watching from your first boat video. All right, so that was last summer then, because I did it last summer. I remember I had the tripod set up in the bow, and I tied it so that it wouldn't fall over. And that's actually when I learned that let me go I want to show you something. How about that? Let me show you something. Let's go back. I'll show you the screen. I'm going to go way back here. Okay, that's last winter. And we're getting closer. This one here. Over 40 and camera shy. Do this now. 1 year ago. Let's click this video. To my neighbors. Okay, so that was over a year ago. But I don't know if you noticed, but just watch how steady the horizon is. Drove by there, and they said, like, what the heck is Rob doing? It looks like the boat is moving, or what? But, right? And like, who cares? I laugh, right? You got to laugh at yourself. Keep it as simple as possible. Tuesday in the live stream. Bloopers on that one. Anyways, my point is, you can see the boat going up and down. It looks like. Thank you, and talk to you soon. It looks like my tripod was not on the boat. I'll show you my setup. But it was on the boat. There's the boat. Oh, I missed the boat. So this is all I did today. I was drinking energy drinks back then too. I got a tripod set up. But that's how I set up the tripod. Fall off that seat. I had to tie it back there, and then I've got. And I was in the middle of St. Margaret's Bay. That the phone will clip onto. It's by Quad Lock. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but really handy way to attach a cell phone to. But again, you can see. Well, I'm holding them. And then I have my notes over here. I have my notes. There you go. So then again, the boat is moving up and down. Is that, so I have to pause it because hearing my voice, I'm not able to think and talk. So yeah, the boat going up and down, the camera was moving with the boat, but the software in the iPhone it's got an enhanced stabilizer built in. So it's basically a built-in gimbal, and the software evens it all out, and it makes the horizon level. Same thing when I walk with my camera like this. Okay, if I'm moving around like this, the camera is actually keeping the horizon steady and still. So no gimbal, and no gimbal there either. Anyway, just thought I'd show that. I thought that was interesting. So the phone was doing the horizon leveling and stabilizing. Yes, it was. It was. And that phone was the iPhone 14 Pro Max, because that was last summer. This past January is when I upgraded to the 16, from the 14 to the 16. And it has the same built-in stabilization. Didn't you also do a video with your daughter on a boat? I did. I did. That was my father's boat. That was a sailboat. This one right here. Yeah, no, that was a short. Let's see, there we go. We are dreamers of the... There's Dad. And that's his boat. So yeah, but that was down in, not St. Margaret's Bay, but Mahone Bay, the next bay over, down the south shore. It got me thinking, not only how lucky I am to be able to do... Anyways, yep, so that was fun. That was that this year? No, that was 6 months ago. 6 months ago. Yeah, that was this spring, I guess. Yep. Anyway, yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Whoa, your YouTube sidebar is different. Is that a plugin? Yes, that's the vidIQ plugin. That's the vidIQ plugin right here, where you can, any video you're watching, it'll give you information here, okay, about the creator, and you can see how many views that creator had over time, all right, and how many subscribers they had over time, and how they've grown. So I love that about vidIQ. A whole new world. Time to go fishing. Yeah. How do you turn that feature on? So I would Google vidIQ Chrome extension. Well, Chrome, I'm sure they have an extension that works with other browsers too. I use Chrome. Even though it's a Mac, I use Chrome as my browser. But they may have a Safari browser or extension as well. I'm not sure. What do you use for stabilizing the phone? Nothing. It's built in. Stabilization is built right into the phone. I don't use a gimbal. I just use this selfie stick. When I hold it, yeah, and when I was on the boat there, that time here, I was just holding my phone. I don't even think I had the selfie stick that day. Do that and have the flexibility in what I do. Being a YouTuber gives you that flexibility. Yeah, just holding the phone, making videos. And then I made the video when I get back afterwards. Monkey Ranch. Have you any experience with VidCon or any other conferences for video creators? No, I was going to go to VidCon this past year, but my son and I ended up going to Whistler, BC instead, and we golfed for a week, which was fun. But I've been toying with the idea of going to Vid Summit next year. Yeah, and if I do, I'll let everybody know. And I'll say, yeah, meet me down in Dallas or wherever it is. It's near Dallas, I think, in Texas. And I think that is in September, I want to say. September. So that should be fun. So that I'm tentatively planning on going to that. But no, I've got experience with going to other conferences, but that was before I got into YouTube. That was like web hosting and web design stuff. But yeah, hoping to get to Vid Summit next year. How do you turn the stabilization on in the phone? I don't remember, but it's in there. I would Google it, honestly. Actually, I would YouTube it. Mine was just turned on automatically. Yeah, and I know it started with the 14. If you have an iPhone, the 14 was the first one that had it. The 13 and older did not have it. Let's see. Hi from Iran. Hello from Iran. Welcome. Thanks for stopping in. How long can a channel be empty? You reserved the name. I don't know that there's a limit on that. I think you can probably have it as long as you need to. Aria, hi from New Zealand. Hello, good to see you. Vid Summit is expensive. Holy cow. Yeah, it's not cheap. I think it's like $900 US. So that makes it even more expensive. 900 US is, I don't know what that is, like 12 or 1300 Canadian. But it would be a work expense, a write-off, right? Go through your settings. Yeah, camera settings. Okay, there you go. You've got an iPhone 14. There you go. You should be good. Hi from France. Hello, Nico. This is Pam. How you doing, Pam? Good to see you. Need a Rob Summit for $49. Funny you should mention that. I think I mentioned it before, but I do, as part of the whole Creators Growth Project thing, I do plan on starting to offer something like that. I'd love to host a gathering here in Nova Scotia with people who want to spend 3 days. That's what I'm thinking, 3 days, like a weekend or something here, like creators getting together and kind of comparing notes, making videos together, doing a harbor cruise, going to Peggy's Cove, stuff like that. I think that's going to be part of the whole Creators Growth Project. But more on that much later. All right, guys, I'm going to have to bounce. Boat ride included? Absolutely. Greetings from Toronto. Hello. Yes, absolutely. No, yeah, no. If I do anything here in Nova Scotia where people come in, it's going to involve Peggy's Cove. It's going to involve getting on a boat. It's going to involve probably lobster. Okay, and then making videos. Probably making videos together. Maybe going live together, like live, like we're all together. We're live, right? Probably something like that, and probably some. I don't want to say classroom settings. Maybe we go to a park somewhere and a bunch of chairs and sit around and figure out how we're going to grow our YouTube channels. Peggy's Con. Yeah. Something like that. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this. Yeah, hopefully I will have more information on the Creators Growth Project. There is the logo. If not by the end of today, tomorrow. And I'll have the applications open and there'll be even more information. You'll be able to read it and see if it might be right for you. Again, it's not for people who want to grow AI, auto-generated video channels or faceless channels even. It's going to be geared towards people who want to be in their videos and grow not just a YouTube channel, but a business. So there's a business angle to it. Making money from it, not just from AdSense, but I'm going to teach people how to build a business from YouTube. I'm going to share what I've learned, all the stuff I've learned in my 20-some years of doing this stuff. Yes, Heidi, happy Thanksgiving to everybody there in the United States. We had our Thanksgiving a month ago, but I'm going to enjoy your football on Thursday and probably have some turkey. So yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the U.S. And wherever you are, I hope you have a great week. And watch for a video from me tomorrow, and then one on Friday. And I'll see you back here Tuesday for another live stream. Blah, 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 blah. All right, I'm getting tired. See you guys. Take care.